site once again for the District 11 playoffs. It's the 4A boys classification, and boy, we expect a good matchup between Central Catholic and Bethlehem Catholic. Hi and welcome everyone. Al DiCarlo alongside Mike Raymond. Glad you could join us here. Our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. And obviously, as we look at this matchup, we're intrigued because anytime these two teams match up, it gets interesting. Now, they didn't play this year, so that makes it even more interesting.
Well, very true, and very talented teams on both sides of the ball. Becca has been here before. They've shown that they can win, and a thrilling game last year right here at Easton Area Middle School Gymnasium. And if it's anything like our first game of the doubleheader, we're in for a heck of a game tonight.
Yeah, Nazareth winning the championship on the girls 6A side. Bethlehem Catholic 14-11 under second-year head coach Scott McClary. Of course, came over from Muhlenberg, but he was an assistant in between that time for Dennis Census and Central Catholic. One of his key players is Julian Thomas.
Yeah, Julian Thomas, offense going through him, one of the highest point-per-game average guys on Bethlehem Catholic. But again, veteran leadership and people who have been around this program and who's experienced winning before, that speaks a lot when you get to this point in the playoffs, especially in District 11 here.
Well, for Dennis Census, what can you say about his team? 22-4. They've been outstanding all year long. We've seen them on D11 Sports once before. Dennis Census is his 8th year. They're coming off a convincing win over Wilson where they put up 88 points. And you could pick a couple players. We're going to go with Nick Filner.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 6'8", I think a lot of the attention goes right to you. Does a really great job. Got an opportunity to see him earlier this year. Didn't have a really great first half of that game. We saw him against Northampton, but came on strong late in the game. And, you know, he's going to be one of those special players you got to keep your eye on if you're Bethlehem Catholic. So we'll see what the plan is to attack him on the defensive side and see if he can get his points on the offensive side.
Your District 11 4A Boys Championship, our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. We'll be right back with the opening tip. We are back and excited to get this game matchup ready for you. And obviously, we bring in our two student reporters that we have tonight. And, Travis Lahr from Nazareth did a great job in game number 1, his team winning a championship. And, we're on to game number 2. And Travis Lahr is joined with Joey Draper for this matchup. And they talked to both coaches, Scott McClary and also to Dennis Census. And, we'll get their thoughts before this opening tip as we bring in our two student reporters. Let them take it away.
Welcome inside Easton Area Middle School, where we have Bethlehem Catholic and Central Catholic for the district final.
We'll check their microphone first. We always say glitches. There's a glitch here and there, wherever it is. And
hey, you know,
you got to turn on the mic. You're in radio. You know that, right?
I understand that part too. But no, when just broadcasting from Easton Area Middle School is a feat in and of itself. So we'll count that as a win so far. But no, you get the feel of what's going on between each head coach, and I know Joey does a really good job, and I know we're going to get to them in just a second here, as they talk to the coaches prior to the start of the game.
Let's hear from them now.
I'm Joey Draper alongside Travis Lahr. We are inside Easton Area Middle School for the district championship between Bethlehem Catholic and Central Catholic. Travis, you talked to Bethlehem Catholic before. What did they have to say their keys to success were for tonight's victory?
Coach said he wanted to come out and play a really physical game. He said this game's going to be a challenge, but they're going to space the floor and run the floor. And, looking forward to it.
I talked to Coach Dennis Census for Central Catholic, and he said that they had to stop Becca in transition, and they have to look to Liam Joyce, who has been the sophomore star all season for Central Catholic. And if they're going to win tonight, they have to go to Liam, Nick, and then stop Becca in transition. I'm Joe Draper alongside Travis Lahr. Back to you, Al.
All right, guys, job well done as we get ready for the first quarter of this matchup.
Bethlehem Catholic controlling the ball off the tip.
To the corner they go. First shot by Ryan Santana, and he buries the triple.
When you have that, those could be the tricky shots there in the corner, but Santana making the most of that opportunity right there and gets Bethlehem Catholic off early with a 3-point bucket. And they'll get the ball back here as a turnover on the offensive side for Central. Santana running the point there for Bethlehem Catholic.
You know, interesting how when we said we were at Easton Middle School in game number 1 that went to double overtime, and if you missed it, you can go to our website d11sports.com and check it out. You can check any of our games out as well. You know, we live stream them and they're into YouTube forever, and they're sitting in there. And you know, overtime game, a double overtime game, you know, memorable for Nazareth winning that one. To the window for the basket, first basket for Julian Thomas.
He said he was going to be a factor in the pregame, getting on the board as the second bucket goes true for Bethlehem Catholic. And turnovers, early problem here for Central. Another one there as Santana going coast to coast and finishes.
Well, how about that start for the Golden Hawks?
Again, we talked about it. Been here before, know what they're doing. Santana sitting there as a senior. Saw him play here last year. Doing a really excellent job defensively and setting the tone early for Bethlehem Catholic.
No doubt, 7-0 is your score. First 3 attempt, that one will go for Filner.
Yep. Filner coming off the screen there, getting a good look. Defense rolled late.
That one short off the hands of Glassmacher. And Filner comes right back and buries a 3. His 53rd of the season.
Unfinished business on the other end there, getting Central Catholic, the Vikes on the board there. 3 points early on. Both coaches very animated early on here.
Well, you say early on. I think it's going to be early and often for those guys.
Often, yeah.
Well, I was going to say before is they added this section of bleachers behind us because of the overflow crowd. And we're finding ourselves standing up, you know, looking over everyone as well.
Yeah, great atmosphere here. Was last year when I was here too.
Shot in the lane by Isaiah Alexander, so 3 different scorers tonight.
Listen, Bethlehem Catholic coming out strong, trying to set the tone, get out to an early lead. A moving screen there for Spagnari. Coming to the bench now as Census coming in for Central Catholic.
So 3 minutes in, 9-3 is your score. Bethlehem Catholic leading Central Catholic. Driving through, high off the glass. That one doesn't go. Ball loose and one. Good job by Alexander. He'll go to the free throw line where he's at 71%.
Yeah, Alexander with the hustle points. No good on the first one. Second one goes down, and he gets a third opportunity from the stripe. Bethlehem Catholic really setting the tone early.
Doesn't hit the free throw. But an 11-3 score up by 8. Here early in the first.
It's interesting, Filner out there taking the ball up the court. He's really shown what kind of versatility he has, even with his height. Really great ball handler.
And an opportunity there, but couldn't convert, was Tyson Thomas, and then the rebound. Well, that one won't go.
Second chance opportunity for Central doesn't go. Bethlehem Catholic trying to set up their offense now, trying to extend that lead. Isaiah Alexander doing a really good job in the paint there. Really big target there at 6'6". He's matching up really well. Looks like Liam Joyce on the defense.
Jumper by Alexander off the mark. 3:45 in the opening quarter of play. And trying to weave his way through traffic was Andrew Senses, but couldn't convert. Wow, this is a long three. Nothing but cotton for Glassmacher. That's his 48th three-pointer of the season.
Very impressive early offensive effectiveness by the Golden Hawks. Keeping this very substantial Central Catholic crowd quiet. You can see the replay there as Glassmacher hits from well beyond the three-point line.
Now let's take a look at the keys coming in. And obviously, you're 3:28 left, and as these two coaches came into there, for Bethlehem Catholic, attack the exterior. They have done that. Limit Central Catholic to one shot. They've done that. Post defense and offensive execution for Dennis Senses and his team as well. The starting five for these two teams, they've shuffled the lineup a little bit, but for the most part, you get your lineup and then you start putting yourself in a position where, all right, this is going to be our lineup halfway through the season, and you make yourself, move forward and get that kind of lineup. And for the most part, they have stayed the same, the majority of the season.
Just, getting the it's a long season, trying to mix up the opportunity, make sure that there's not a huge workload on any one player. And if you have depth, why not? See if the Vikes can get a little bit more offense going here as we approach 3 minutes to go in the first.
Filchner, nice kick out. Baseline three, and can't get the roll off the shot by Senses.
Good look by Senses. You got to take that shot uncontested. Been really impressed with what Ryan Santana's been able to do, moving that ball around.
Now Filchner goes up, and he gets tagged by Glassmacher.
That was going to be a difficult shot for Filchner to hit. Ends up getting the foul. Take two.
Filchner hits the free throw.
Certainly the Central Catholic Vikings traveling very well.
I would say so.
A lot of green, a lot of yellow. And more points by Filchner.
Now Filchner has all five. Here with 3 minutes on the clock, a little less than that, in the opening quarter of play, your 4A championship. Down low they go. They collapse down low. Now 1 on 3. Nothing there. That one stripped away. And finally it's taken away by Senses. And it's given up to Filchner. Filchner dangerous in transition and one.
That starts with a double team there on Isaiah Alexander. Get the points in transition. Filchner, again, showing that he is the offensive production maker for Central Catholic. See him making the nice crossover dribble. Goes up with the left hand with a nice layup, and he'll shoot one when we come back from the timeout.
So timeout on the floor, 14-7 is your score. There's 2:26 left in the first half. Starters that came into tonight's game, Bethlehem Catholic went with Santana, Stianchi, Glassmacher, Thomas, and Alexander. Vikings countered with Spagnardi, Green, Thomas, Joyce, and Filchner starting five. Of course, you're 2:26 in. You made a couple changes and see where this goes here early on. But a nice start for a Bethlehem Catholic team. Again, after leaving Muhlenberg, Scott McClary, that first year was on the bench. They ended up winning a championship with Central Catholic. And then he found his way over at Bethlehem Catholic and winning a title a year ago. So great success he's always had. So through the free throw line, and he's been there so far tonight. But Filchner's done a great job so far. He's got all 7 points. Converts on a three-point play, make it 8.
Bethlehem Catholic doing a really good job moving that ball. Make that Viking defense move around a little bit. Tyson Thomas out there contesting stuff for Allentown Central Catholic. Seen a lot of Andrew Senses, too, for Central Catholic.
Yeah, so far you have. And I think if you get deep into the bench, that's where, you start seeing what player or players will step up. We saw that not so much in the first game as the bench players, but as alternate players, not your stars, coming up huge for Nazareth in the early going.
Sure, if you can get the attention away from the focal points coming into the game, very productive to get the unusual suspects. Turnover again on the offensive end for Central Catholic.
That one knocked away. Oh, nice feed underneath. And then a great job defensively by Joyce. Joyce came in with 34 blocks, make it 35.
Pinned that one right against the backboard. Impressive.
Thought about taking the three with senses momentarily, but now driving off the window and going to the line will be Jalen Green.
Moving shot. See if he can convert from the line. Central fighting back in after the early run from Bethlehem Catholic. No good for the first one. For Jalen Green, senior guard. 60% free throw shooter on the year.
So misses both free throws when you're down by the score of 14-8. That won't sit well.
Seeing some new faces on the floor for Bethlehem Catholic. Caden McClary getting some time here.
And inside a minute, 14-8 is your score.
Brian Santana with the ball now. Looks like Julian Thomas wanted to milk some more clock, get it down perhaps closer to the 30-second mark.
Well, you took that lead 14-3, but since that time at the 3:30 mark, they have not scored. A mini 5-0 run for Central Catholic.
Well, if they'll go all the way down, perhaps right around here is when you start to make the push.
19 seconds on the clock. They hit the corner, and we'll reset here, play for one. And truckle on in. Now Coach McClary wants them to go here with 5 seconds on the clock. Good job defensively. Maybe stepped. He did. So they took about 48 seconds off the clock. Never got a shot off. Trout with the basketball. And now with 3.4, you start looking at those three-point shooters.
Silver lining here for Bethlehem Catholic if they could perhaps keep Allentown Central Catholic off the board with his 3 seconds.
Counts as it goes. It does not just short. So it started with a big quarter for Bethlehem Catholic, but it's 14-8 after one. All those points coming by Nick Filchner. Back after this, you're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
One quarter in the books. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine here from Easton Middle School. I want to thank Jim Pekrivsak and his staff for getting us up and going with our live stream, and hope everyone's out and about and enjoying our live stream wherever you are across the country or wherever, watching on D11sports.com, our Game of the Week. Dave Micah side by side once again, and proud to be joined here by Mike Raymond from Fox 1320 of the Lehigh Valley. And Mike, it's always good to have you on board. And, so far you've seen some interesting games. The game that we did, Central Catholic at Northampton, you saw 10 3-pointers. You saw double overtime. What do you got for us here? You got a prediction yet? Or are you going to wait till 4 minutes left in the half?
Well, right around this time during the last game, I was saying it was going to overtime. Not quite comfortable saying that one yet. It looks like there's too much offense on both teams.
All right. Short jumper is good by Tyson Thomas.
Tyson Thomas was that kid that we thought going into the Northampton game that we did together, it was going to be one of the focal points for the Central Catholic Vikings. We'll see if he can continue to add to his success here early on as this game progresses. Continuing to see Ryan Santana on the bench. Brian right now out there playing some guard. Haven't seen the Hawks go down low to Isaiah Alexander all that much. He had one. Oh, there we go.
Again, I think they're mic'd up. They can hear you.
They
They got
can
an
hear me.
earpiece there. You're just calling in the shots.
You know, you can get that low post domination and force the other team to get you some fouls. And if Isaiah Alexander gets to the line, he's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. See how he does here.
Makes the first. He's got 5. On D11sports.com. St. Luke Sports Medicine, proud to give both Central Catholic and Bethlehem Catholic this opportunity to get their student athletes on TV. Well, on live stream, however you want to call it.
Can live stream it to your TV, absolutely.
I do it all the time. Clearing traffic and no roll.
Liam Joyce had an opportunity there, trying to follow up his highlight reel block from earlier in the game. Joyce, just under 50% free throw shooter on the year. Knocks down the first one. And I think you said numbers hold true last game. That one too.
Now, this time of year, they have to hold true because you play 25 games.
Yep. Silver lining, though, offensive rebound, another possession for the Vikings. As Liam Joyce making his presence felt there at the top of the key.
15-footer. That one is good. So Thomas has back-to-back baskets for him. 15-13 is your score.
So Filchner was the guy early on that the offense went through, but now Tyson Thomas making some noise on the offensive end of the ball.
Yeah, how about a 10-1 run here for Central Catholic? Then, I guess, I keep saying it, but I'm not going to say it anymore. Because they say basketball is a game of runs. I said it one more time. I'm not going to say it anymore until in about 20 minutes. I'll say it again.
I didn't pick that out with you saying that earlier, so we're good.
It's amazing how it holds true each and every time when you watch a basketball game. At some point, somewhere, it's going to happen.
Some good defense there by Central.
Yeah, their defense is stepping up.
Not really doing much down inside the paint. Working that ball around the perimeter. Alexander with the big rebound and basket.
Wow. So he's got 7.
Trying to loosen that defense by working the ball around the perimeter. Alexander capitalizes on his opportunity there. Playing some good defense now on this end is Alexander. He's matching up on Joyce.
Wide open in the corner for a 3. That one well off the mark by Census.
Census has had 2 opportunities from that exact same spot on the floor. Hasn't been able to hit yet.
And then the shuffling of the feet.
Central staying in this game as they make a substitution, get Spignari back into the mix. I'll say it again. It still just looks bizarre when Filchner brings the ball up the court. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, no question.
He's got the handle.
Absolutely does.
Coming off the screen there. Poked away. Off of Filchner. I thought perhaps that Stianchi might have poked that one out and it went out, but no. That went off of Filchner. Ball going the way of Bethlehem Catholic now as they take the ball up the court. Alex Cercato getting some minutes off the bench here. for Bethlehem Catholic. Trapping now is Central, getting the turnover.
In transition, and I get a blocking foul here on the Golden Hawks.
Wild shot, but hey, you draw the foul, see if you can get to the line, perhaps get your points that way.
So 17-13 is your score, and this away from the basket, and the foul is going to be assessed on Alice Ocado.
Trying to get the ball inbounded there, some collisions under the basket. Try it again. See if Tyson Thomas can find another Viking. It's a really tall one in there. And Liam Joyce, and then Filner gets the ball.
Filcher on a little fadeaway, doesn't go. They'll reset the offense. In the lane, that one's short. Right place at the right time are the Vikings there to Spugnardi. And possession arrow is in favor of Central Catholic.
Loose ball, a little scrappy there on the floor, on the hardwood. Alexander getting the breather, but now coming back on pretty quickly. As Caden McClary goes to the bench for Bethlehem Catholic.
That one won't drop. Second chances here for Central Catholic, down 17-13. Nice spin move in the paint, clearing traffic and scoring is Joyce.
Impressed with what Joyce has been able to do, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but very, very calm and collected in the paint there. Spun away. Gets the basket.
Move this one around as we approach the 3-minute mark. 17-15 is your score.
Tyson Thomas on the defense, he's getting a workout going back and forth.
This shot from way downtown. They don't get the initial shot. And how about the third effort? We'll say, okay, we'll follow with that on the basket by Stianchi.
Thomas couldn't get it. Stianchi cleaning up the mess there. And then Glassmacher getting the loose ball here and letting Thomas bring it up the floor. See what Bethlehem Catholic can do on the offensive end, getting it into Alexander now.
Got a lot of room in the exterior. They're letting him play interior. Well, body's flying some way, somehow. And we get a whistle and a foul. I think we walked the floor here.
It's interesting because we saw it in the first game, letting them play a little bit as they get to this pinnacle in the championship round. You don't want to have a referee decide in a big moment. Not like right now in the second quarter is a huge moment, right, but you don't want it to come down to a referee's whistle. Looks like Joyce back at the line.
Joyce, a sophomore at 48%, misses on the free throw on the 1-and-1. And now with 2:23 on the clock. Driving through, nothing there. Cut off on the angle. If you're just joining us here on D11Sports.com, Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine, you're watching the District 11 4A Boys Championship between Central Catholic. Wow. Say goodnight to that one.
That was quite impressive by Matthew Stianchi.
Stianchi with a flush.
I thought Santana was going to get that, first of all, but that might be the play of the evening so far.
I was just about to say they jumped out to a 14-3 lead, but I guess that means nothing considering Stianchi came out with a huge dunk. Last two baskets by Stianchi, Filner on the other end.
Quick answer by Central, and who else but Nick Filner.
21-17. with $1:10 on the clock.
So Kelly Lazinski's three-pointer in the first overtime for Nazareth was the highlight for me up until that dunk by Stianchi.
That one knocked away.
Looks like Thomas getting Filner to come out and play him close to half court. This is going to be an interesting offensive-defensive matchup with Filner on Thomas. And Jalen Green doing a really great job. I was lauding Tyson Thomas's defense, but Jalen Green pretty active on the defensive side of the ball for Allentown Central Catholic.
No doubt about it. How about this possession, taking almost off a minute off the clock?
At this point, you got a hole for one, yeah.
No question. Stostianchi with the dunk earlier. It was 14-8 after one. The crowd booing for Central, but obviously for Coach McClary, you want them to go now. They didn't get the shot off they wanted earlier, and now that one almost knocked away. Down to 4 seconds on the clock. Waiting, assessing the fake and the shot. That one doesn't go. And one half is in the books. Bethlehem Catholic and Central Catholic for the 4A championship. And it's the Golden Hawks leading by 4, 21-17. Back with more action. You're watching on D11sports.com. Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts. Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
(21-17) as we welcome you back to Easton Area Middle School. Al DiCarlo, Mike Raymond from Fox 1320. Dave Micah. We have our student reporter, Joey Draper of Emmaus, and Travis Lahr of Nazareth joining us as well, and part of our D11sports.com team of reporters with 40 reporters from 19 different schools. And, great opportunity for them not only to get an opportunity behind the mic, but just to get atmosphere, playoff atmosphere, what they've done. We see them, persevere. We had 5 of them the other night, and they just did a great job. And I thank John Hoff and Ken Sidlow and everyone at St. Luke's for doing what they do, and they've been helping us tremendously with what we feel is a great platform to get students above everyone else and moving forward with their opportunity.
Some great first half highlights we're seeing up on the screen right now. Now, if we knew Nick Filner would be a guy that we'd have to watch out for, and see Julian Thomas right there. This right here was the play of the first half. Glassmacher misses the three-point bucket, but Stiachi coming in and hammering it home with the dunk. Very impressive.
I want to thank everyone that's watching here on D11sports.com. Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Some, watching them to stream into their smart TV. Some just hanging out, whether they're out and about, with their friends and sitting down and relaxing, whether you're in Pennsylvania, in the Lehigh Valley, or anywhere else. It's great to have them on board, and that's what we're all about. We want to give everybody the opportunity in the palm of their hand to enjoy D11sports.com and what we do with that. And that all said, our student reporters had the chance to talk to both of the coaches, and they are standing by courtside, and we will go down to Joey Draper and Travis Lahr, who are standing down courtside. Guys?
Welcome down to the court with the halftime score, Bethlehem Catholic 21, Central Catholic 17. I'm Joey Draper alongside Travis Lahr. Travis, what did Bethlehem Catholic's coach have to say on his way into the locker room?
Well, he was just happy that his team was up at the half. He likes the intensity that his team has played with, but he said they have a lot of work to do on offense yet, but he's positive going into the second half.
I spoke to Coach Dennis Sensis, and he told me that they have to limit the turnovers and they just have to play harder. They said that they weren't in it in the first half. Their minds were kind of all over the place, and they just have to play harder. With this only being up 4 points for Bethlehem Catholic, this game is nowhere near over. What kind of back and forth do you think will happen in the second half? More of the same, or do you think the coaches are able to clean things up?
I think it's going to be more of the same. I mean, these teams, it's been back and forth so far in this game already, and I think there'll be adjustments made, but it will be back and forth. I mean, this is a championship game. It's will be intense with great atmosphere. So yeah.
Great atmosphere is right. Central Catholic brought almost probably their whole student body. They have a lot of students here, a lot of alumni. As we look at right in front of us, the crowd's just making it 10 times more enjoyable for everyone in the building and ourselves included. How do you think they can keep it going and make sure that it stays loud?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the crowd has played on some of these players. Though one kid was getting chanted at, and then he dunked, and then he kind of shushed the crowd. So, the crowd, it's enjoyable. It's what make this a great scene today.
Matthew Stenacci was the player who got his ankles broken at the end of the first quarter, and that's why Central Catholic was saying that. Then he had that putback slam, and it kind of woke everyone up on Bethlehem Catholic's side. Did you think that was an energizer that made them go on that late half run to be up 4 points at the break?
Definitely, and I think it even gave him back his confidence a little bit. I know he was a little tentative when he got the ball because they kept chanting that, but I think he got his confidence back, and I think that's energized the team. So,
Nick Filchner, Tyson Thomas, Liam Joyce, those are three names that we usually hear a lot about. Tonight, it's been a little bit quiet with the exception of Nick Filchner and maybe Tyson Thomas with a couple points as well. How do you think they can, in the locker room, make adjustments to be able to come out and be their own self?
Yeah, I just think that Coach will work with them to spread the ball around. But they want to keep getting to his players. He said that Joyce would be a key player in this game, so I think that will still be the plan going into the second half.
21-17, our halftime score. Bethlehem Catholic leading Central Catholic. We're going to send it back upstairs to Al.
All right, guys, job well done. They got the analysis. They got the ankles breaking down there. They got the Stianci slam. They talked about it all. Good job down there.
A lot of good first half highlights to reflect on, and we're going to find out which team comes out. Remember, Bethlehem Catholic started this game very strong, and Allentown Central Catholic just kind of clawed their way back in. I know we have some of the first half stats that we were going to go over. I know for Bethlehem Catholic, 9 of 18, 2 from 7 from beyond 3-point, 1 from 3 from the foul line, 7 points for Isaiah Alexander, 5 for Ryan Santana, 4 for Stianci, 3 for Glassmacher, and Thomas has 2 points. Do you have the Centrals?
I do, indeed. 6 of 6 shooting, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, 4 of 8 from the free throw line. So they've done a pretty good job at that part with them. And Dave Micah keeping all the numbers. And I can't go far without Tessa Zamoli sitting right in front of me. Tessa Zamoli was part of the Bethlehem Catholic team that made a run at a state championship as well. So she graduated from Bethlehem Catholic at Misericordia, and she just scored her 1,000th point against Eastern, and having an opportunity to see her alma mater play today. And she happens to be sitting right in front of us. I actually talked to her earlier as well. So, you start bringing people back, number one, and then those that can't be back have the opportunity to take this game in through D11 Sports.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. And, just having the support from just the whole community is phenomenal. Bethlehem Catholic, we mentioned early on that, they've kind of been here before. They've been established, but whether it be the girls' side or the boys' side, definitely supportive here for the Golden Hawks.
I'll take a quick break, come back right after this. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week as we take a look at this nice little dunk as we go to break. 21-17, Bethlehem Catholic on top at the break. Back after this. We are back here at Eastern Area Middle School. I want to thank Jim Kripsack for his hospitality once again as we're high atop, taking it all in and a great perspective. We got St. Luke's signs all around us as well, here for D11sports.com, and a great opportunity for, us and our involvement with St. Luke's and giving us this platform that Dave and I, brought to the table. And, I always say seeing is believing. And I'll tell you what, with almost 2,400 Twitter followers and what we've done on Facebook and also on D11sports.com, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, we're the new guys in town, and we're giving, opportunity for students to make their mark. And at the same time, we're giving high school sports coverage a different look and how sports coverage is going to be from here on out moving towards the future.
Good point, yep. Availability, convenience, no matter where you go. It's interesting, a couple years ago I was traveling on Thanksgiving, and this had not been created. And as an Easton alum, you kind of always tune into what's going on Thanksgiving Day. Now I know if I go out of town again on Thanksgiving, I'll be able to tune in and find out updates.
Would you leave some of the turkey so I can have that since you'll be on the road?
Yeah,
that
fine.
Shot missed inside by Alexander. Well, Mike, you won't be with us tomorrow because you have other places to be, but we have an all-star cast. Tommy Moser not with us this weekend, has done a tremendous job for us this entire season, and not with us this weekend on championship weekend. And so I had to, dig out some guys that I liked. And Tracy Sear has done a great job with us, in some of the games that she's been a part of, and she'll be with us for game number 1, which will be Bangor and Blue Mountain 5A Girls Championship. And then from there, we will go Eric Snyder from Catasauqua High School, and they'll take in the matchup between Panther Valley and Notre Dame, 3A Boys Championship. Tom Mole, who's the game manager in the building, and the Catasauqua Athletic Director, who did the first game of the year, by the way, with us. He will have that game with me. And the first game of the year on D11sports.com, as Filner misses that shot, was Freedom and Northampton. And, oh, by the way, tomorrow night, it's Freedom and Northampton. Had a vision. I kind of felt something.
Did, yeah.
You said you had a vision, so I had a vision.
That's true.
He will be with us for game number 3 in the nightcap, Freedom in Northampton. Well, we're in Easton, so why not get the Easton basketball coach, Ben Childs, who is an aspiring broadcaster himself and is excited to join us. So we'll have those 4 with us all afternoon tomorrow. Liam Joyce.
Coach Childs, good people. We got to talk to him a little bit before this game, the first game of the doubleheader, as they're wrapping up practice. I believe they have Allen tomorrow.
At noon at Pleasant Valley.
So he's got a jam-packed day. He's got to coach and be at the top of his game coaching, and then come on the broadcast with you. And I'm sure you'll take good care of Coach Childs.
Well, just for a quarter or so, and then we'll see.
They'll settle in.
Well, after doing 4 games, he'll probably take care of me. The shot is good by Glassmacher.
Rattled home there. Nice little friendly roll. The rims here at Easton Middle School.
So Central Catholic coming off a huge victory where they put a lot of points up, and right now they're sitting here at 19 as Filner get that one taken away.
Great backdoor pass, but you got to credit Julian Thomas for being right there at the block. And wow, Alexander again.
Well, Bethlehem Catholic right now is starting to really believe as they're turning up 27-19.
Kind of, been here before, knows what this stage looks like. Showing here now as we get deeper into the third quarter.
And right back is Jalen Green with his 17th three-pointer of the year and first points of the night, 27-22.
That's a huge response there by Central Catholic, because Becca was gathering some momentum there right out of the gate. just to get Green, get that 3 ball in there and cut that lead to 5 points, more within striking distance.
So 27-22. Glad you could join us here on D11sports.com, our game of the week, and take you through the bracket, how these two teams got here for the championship. Central Catholic beating Palisades handily, 63-32. And then Bethlehem Catholic beating Northwestern 56-39. And Bethlehem Catholic then taking care of Tamaqua by a score of 60-53. They were down in that game against Tamaqua, I believe it was 17 points. They were down 40-19 in the third.
Wow.
40-19 in the third. They went on a 15-0 run, and then I believe they had a 14-0 run to persevere and come back. And Central beat Wilson, we mentioned, 88-50.
Tamaqua had a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, we had them earlier against Lee Heighton on D11 Sports, and they tried to go to the alley-oop, but that one just right on the basket. And the outlet pass, great passing, and the bucket is good by Spugnardi. 27-24, baseline jumper, no. Here comes Central Catholic, down by 3. Chance to tie with a 3 for the Vikings, who have been down. Wide open look up top for a 3. Yes! We are tied. Joyce buries a 3. That's number 7 of the season. And look out, 27-27.
Looked like the Bethlehem Catholic defense went with who they probably should have been going with Filchner, but Liam Joyce coming right back around and creating a 3-point basket of his own.
Ryan Santana comes right back with the basket to make it 29-27.
Jalen Green again. 3-point basket, his second.
So Green with 2 threes. Things starting to open up here. Central Catholic takes the lead after the Green basket. 30-29.
Just other pieces getting involved in the Central offense. Obviously, the attention goes to Filchner, but Liam Joyce coming up big. Jalen Green, Spugnardi at times. Tyson Thomas had a really good run in the second quarter.
Well, couldn't convert on that basket was Alexander, but we'll go to the free throw line. He's been dynamic tonight. He's got 4 in this quarter. He's got 11 for the game. Makes these free throws. Will be right on his average of 13. Get back to, Becca down 40-19, and, you battle back. Sometimes you throw in the towel, but, when you have weapons and you see what they're doing tonight, you realize what can happen. Evened up 30-30. If you're just joining us and didn't see the first game, well, you can watch it on D11sports.com. That was a 6A girls, and that was an interesting matchup that ended up going to overtime 1 and overtime 2. Eventually won by the Nazareth Blue Eagles 46-38 in double OT. Championship Friday and Saturday. Filchner kicks it outside. 3. That one is short off the side of the rim. Right underneath, clearing traffic and moving players away is Spugnardi. So Spugnardi got 4 points in this quarter.
Defense collapsing down on Alexander. Filchner thought perhaps that there were some steps there. On the other end, Jalen Green thought to go for another 3-point basket, but falls short, but the putback good. Vikes go up 2.
The biggest lead was early on in this game, 14-3. Central then used a 7-0 run to get back into the mix. Stianchi had the play of the night, a monster dunk off a miss. I'm going to say woke up the crowd, but the crowd's been loud throughout.
Again, a huge contingent here from Allentown Central Catholic. Pretty much taking up the entire section of bleachers to our left here.
A lot of time coming off the clock here, down to 2:19 and counting.
Santana almost lost the handle there. When Thomas goes into the paint, he is aggressive, and look down the line for a nice layup.
Thomas, he's got 4.
Physical, just like a physical type player is Julian Thomas for Bethlehem Catholic.
32-32. Quiet in the third, is Filchner.
Thomas with active hands poking the ball away. Couldn't get the turnover. Central retains possession here.
That one kicked out. They'll reset the offense here with 1:30 and counting. Down to 118. Even Steven, 32-32.
Spagnardi thought he might be able to get a call there, but it's going to go back to Bethlehem Catholic. Brian Santana back out on the floor.
As we approach the 1 minute mark of the third, things getting tight. I tell you what, Mike, earlier on in the game, you're seeing the score 14-3. You're like, hey, what's going on over here? Building a lead, but then things started to change in favor of Central Catholic, and now it's really been back and forth. And we get to the end here of the third, even though there's time. And there's a foul. I'm not sure if they're going to get Filchner here.
Yep.
And it is. But the crowd doesn't like it. But I was going to say, end of the first, end of the second, they really never got the shot off, and they took a lot of time. This time they decided, you know what, let's go in a little quicker.
Well, Filchner didn't like the call here on the foul. He did get his hand on the ball to block it, but it looked like they called him on the ground before going up on it.
First one is good by Thomas. Thomas at 68%, 82 of 121. And second one, no good. To follow that one, no good by Alexander.
That's a quick response on the rebound. Just tried to put it right back up on the backboard, get a friendly roll. Didn't work out. Central gets the ball after a 1-for-2 performance from the line.
33-32. 41 seconds left, third quarter action. And Central Catholic happy to be playing for one. It was 14-8 after one in favor of Bethlehem Catholic. 21-17 Becca at the break. This late with 24 seconds, the last thing you want to do is get a foul like that on Thomas. It's only his first, so really not much of a concern. The Vikings down by 1 point. Again, they won the championship 2 years ago in the 5A classification. Last year in the 4A class, Scott McClary winning the title. 3 in a row for them. Trying to continue that quest. Justin Paz and the contingent with the Young brothers and what they have done. The outlet pass on the steal. It wouldn't have counted if it went anyway. A little shot of after the horn. 33-32 your score after 3 in favor of Bethlehem Catholic. Back with the D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
We are back. 33-32 in favor of Bethlehem Catholic. Al DiCarlo, Mike Raymond, Joey Draper, Travis Lahr, Dave Micah Jr. I want to thank Sports Fan Base Network, Josh Bellman, Ari Bluestein, their team, for providing us with the live stream all year long and what they have done. And Mike, we said it before, I love having you aboard and enjoying it. I know you were a bit under the weather earlier this week, and as long as you stay clear for a couple days, I said, all right, now you're good to go.
Yeah,
because when I was texting you, I wasn't sure. I'm like, I didn't want to get sick through the phone.
That's true. It could have been a possibility around Tuesday. Yeah,
well, this is the time of year,
Yep.
no doubt. A quick story. Well, first of all, Ben Childs got sick before the game the other night.
Yep.
Here's Filner, yes, for 3. Nick Filner buries his second 3 of the night and 55th of the season.
Just when you think the game's going one way, the other team turns it around, and that, of course, Filner. We expect that from Filner. Big shot, big spot. Looks like Becca getting a little more aggressive here on the defensive end. But Allentown Central Catholic taking the 2-point lead there.
Yeah, if you remind me after a timeout, I'll give you a quick story about me getting sick at college.
Oh, boy.
See, I'm waiting for anticipation.
It's not like a late night sickness.
No. Nothing to do with that.
That was an impressive bucket with a hand in his face. Bucket and a foul. Looks like Jalen Green.
Yep. So Green with the basket.
Looks like Coach McClary wants to get this one under control a little bit as Central's making their run here. The Viking fans loving it here. They're all on this side, right beneath our table here atop of Easton Middle School.
Yeah. So your quick story
Go
as
ahead.
we take a look at the shot here.
There's Filner.
On the 3 by Filner. I woke up the crowd. So freshman year of college, it was February 7th. I went to the infirmary. I don't know if they still call that now, but
yeah.
And I wasn't feeling well, and I got sick, and I didn't feel well. You just kind of like flu-like symptoms, whatever. And then the next year I went again. And the third year, the lady in charge said, "We're not going to attend to you." I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Why?" She goes, "Do you know that you've been here 3 years in a row on February 7th? And I said, "Well, maybe that's telling you something that I get sick on February 7th. I said, "Do I look like I'm healthy? Why would I come here?"
Right.
So 3 years in a row, I got sick on February 7th. So I try to stay clear of anybody on February 7th.
On February 7th? All right, good. I appreciate that.
But meanwhile, now I'm sitting by you, that's recovering. So Green converts on the 3-point play.
In my defense, I think it's just allergies, but we'll see.
30.
It hasn't gotten too cold. All the pollen and stuff hasn't gotten killed out here in the Lehigh Valley.
Okay, all right.
That's what we're going to go
So
with.
we know that you see into the future, and now you just said that. So expect a snowstorm in the next 11 days.
That's a good point.
If so, it's Mike Raymond
That's right. Yeah. Tomorrow, you got multiple games here at Easton. Leap year. What else can we add on to that storyline here?
Well, I don't know, but I always wonder when someone had their birthday on a leap year, they always say, do they celebrate it 4 years? If my birthday was on a leap year, I would celebrate it every year until I got older, and then I would say every 4.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Try to cheat those years off at the end.
Absolutely. A dog has, 7 years?
Yep.
So leap year, you should just be.
Yeah. We're going to divide and do all kinds of crazy math.
All right, back to action here. Towards the corner, things starting to change in the direction of the Vikings, up by 5. Well, that's a long possession for Scott McClary's Golden Hawks.
Didn't look like Alexander was ready for that pass down low. Handled it well. As he'll go to the line here. Shoot. Nope. We're going to do an inbound. Foul on the floor. Andrew Sensis coming back in.
That's 4 fouls on Spagnardi. And they couldn't get the ball in. And they turn it over here to Central Catholic. 28 district championships for Central Catholic. At my last count, but I think it was more than that, actually. The success that the boys and the girls have had has been tremendous. And Mike Kopp on the girls' side, his 1,000th win earlier this year. Josh Kopp his son, passing Tracy Sear for most wins at Notre Dame Green Pond.
It's been a good year for the Cops. You mentioned the championships for Central Catholic. You just walk into that gym and you kind of get overwhelmed with all the banners on the walls over there at Rockney Hall.
Oh, you're right about that. They're all over the place.
One for two from the line for Central on that last possession. If Becca wants to cut the lead here, they're going to have to do a little bit more in terms of high percentage shots.
Yeah, up by 6. Add to that Filchner with 2 more.
And you don't let Filchner go coast to coast on you. That's another key to the success. A little poke-in foul there by Joyce.
Well, this game has changed considerably. Becca was up 33-32 at the end of the quarters. You take a look at the transition basket.
Amazing left-handed bucket all the way to the rim, coast to coast. We've seen him go coast to coast a couple times, had some great opportunities. Now gets a block here.
Yeah, 9-0 run to start the quarter here for the Vikings. Jacket off for Dennis Sentis, jacket on for Scott McClary. Jacket's on up here.
Jacket's on up, and we got the hot air rising up here.
And there's a lot of hot air.
Yeah, right in this
all around us.
Yeah.
That one well short. Filson thought he got fouled. And pickup duty. You know, you put yourself in position where the ball's going to come your way, and Joyce comes up with 2 more. 11-0 run.
Joyce has had a really great game. Both sides of the ball as Ryan Santana quiets the scoring for Central with a 3-point basket of his own. And now Scott McClary wiping the sweat from his brow, trying to figure out a way to shrink the lead here with just over 4 minutes to go in the game. And Becca's got to do something original here and try to get themselves in a good position.
We talk about that. Yeah, that play just sitting there.
Yeah, Joyce, great opportunity for a rebound there and goes off the backboard for 2. And then credit to Ryan Santana on the other end of the floor, sinking that 3-point basket to just get a little bit of momentum in the way of the Golden Hawks.
Well, glad you could join us here. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. As you take a look at both head coaches, Al DiCarlo and Mike Raymond, this is game 2 of 6 championships to be had here tonight and tomorrow as Easton Area Middle School is doing their part to.
You know, as an Easton alum, you sit here and look at this phenomenal facility. And you almost forget about the 25th Street gym that has so much history over there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
especially at the wrestling matches, you know.
Congratulations goes out to North Schuylkill tonight as they beat Notre Dame girls in the championship by a score of 43-28.
Wow.
So North Schuylkill, who beat Jim Thorpe for the Schuylkill League Championship, edged them out in the final minutes. They beat Notre Dame and hand Notre Dame their first loss. Josh Kopp's record now at, losing, this season. They lost to Trinity. And now tonight in the championship, as a 3 is hit by Jalen Green. He's got 3 threes in the game. Back up to a 10-point lead.
Now there's got to be a sense of urgency here for Bethlehem Catholic. Not completely over. Anything can happen quickly with the game of basketball, but they got to start putting some shots up.
46-36. This is from way outside. That one is short. And in transition, here they go. Liam Joyce gonna try to continue and add to the lead, and he does.
Continuing his great game here tonight as we get a foul on the floor. Joyce is having a phenomenal game. So, in addition to Filchner, what he's doing, and then you're getting the outside game from Jalen Green, even Tyson Thomas having a great game as Joyce gets the layup there off the turnover.
A double-digit lead and then some, up by a dozen. And a much-needed free throw by Stianchi.
front end. See if we can shrink it here.
Turning up the defense. Vikings, not only in this quarter, but the offense is just flowing along. Second one is good. Well, down to 2:45 and counting. Central Catholic looking for a championship in the 4A classification. Stop the rain in the 4A class by Bethlehem Catholic. Weaving through traffic, never stopped. That one slapped away. Ball loose, that one slapped away. How about 2 in a row for Isaiah Alexander, who came in with 11 block shots.
6-6 down there low for Bethlehem Catholic. He's having a pretty great game, especially on the offensive end of things, too.
So Central calls a timeout with 2:31 on the clock, up by 10.
So the key with 2.5 minutes to go, up 10, is just, roll out the clock a little bit, play your game, and get good shots. Don't force anything. Don't turn the ball over. That's got to be the message that Dennis Census is conveying to his boys down there in the huddle right now. And if you're Coach McClary, everything's out there on the line for you right now. You got to make sure that you're hitting every shot opportunity, not forcing bad shots, and playing smart on the defensive end.
No doubt about that. And, there's so much time here, 48-38, that anything's possible and anything can happen. Or, with the score at 48-38, but this is the time that if you're looking along and you're, who's going to persevere, who's going to take over, and make that last run. But there's still so much time at 2:30. And if you're wondering, Bethlehem Catholic maybe is trailing this game, but the foul situation is in their favor right now. On the alley-oop, over to Filchner for 2. Great call.
Extend that lead out a little bit more for Central. Got to be a little more urgent here on Bethlehem Catholic.
Back up by a dozen, 50-38. Baseline, getting around the defense and scoring. Nice job there by Ryan Santana, who's opened up his game.
Had a really good start to the game. Kind of quiet for a little bit, but getting back on the scoreboard here. And who else but Liam Joyce once again for Central Catholic.
See, Mike, when you get in these kind of situations, when all of a sudden all players are contributing, it really helps things if you're Central Catholic. Here from the outside. 3, yes! Wow, Santana, his third 3. He's got 25 on the season. Cuts the lead to 9, 52-43. Down to inside 130. Do they get offensive foul? They do. He had players on both sides, decided to fly through, and instead, great job defensively by holding ground. And that was Brian Santana.
It's a hard foul. 9-point game here. Got to score quickly if you're Becca High.
3-possession game.
And if you're Becca, you're looking at Santana. I know both Santanas in the game right now, but specifically Ryan, who's been hot as of late.
They get the ball back here at 106. Again, key possession of the game is right here. Nice feed underneath and scoring. Great job to Julian Thomas.
That's a tough shot there. But Thomas was able to finish as we're going to start to play the foul game here.
Well, one thing, if you're Bethlehem Catholic, as you take a look at that last play.
Yeah, I mean, Alexander has been that scoring presence for Bethlehem Catholic, so I understand why the defense went with him, but great peripheral vision and finding Thomas on the baseline for the scoring bucket.
52-45, 51 seconds left on the clock.
Looking at the inbound here for Jalen Green. Another stoppage of play here.
Yeah, stoppage of play, 52-45. To the free throw line is Jalen Green. He's had a great game tonight and put the ball in the spot where it's supposed to be. Misses on the shot with 40 seconds left.
Game's not over yet. As Thomas brings the ball up the floor.
To the corner. Doesn't go. Ball loose. Central comes up with it. Down to 30 seconds. Starting to feel it here as they will walk their way to the floor and to the line again.
Santana, that's a tough shot on the baseline there. Santana had the shot. You got to take it. He's been hot. I understand why. Just didn't fall for him there. As it's winding down here under 30 seconds. And from the free throw line right now, Jalen Green can really seal it over for Central Catholic. Oh, excuse me, that was Tyson Thomas from the line. Could not make the front end of the 1-and-1 as Julian Thomas does not get that one to go for Central. With 17.9 on the clock, it looks like this one is
in the books.
In the books.
Yeah, they look to inbound it. Nick Filchner is going to have the ball in his hand. And they're going to foul him one more time here with 11.8 seconds left and put Filchner to the free throw line.
We knew Filchner was going to be the guy coming in. We knew that's the guy that Becca had to shut down. And, you know, the great start that they had was just not enough. And looks like Central's going to walk away with this one. Again, still not being able to hit those front ends of the 1-and-1. And it's Bethlehem Catholic still has opportunities. Ryan Santana going to take another one, sink it.
So Santana has 4 3-pointers. It's a 4-point game with 3 seconds. Basically, you have to inbound the ball and just don't touch anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, get it on the other side of the court, and you should be fine here. Again, stranger things have happened, but at the same time, that's really what you got to do for Central Catholic as they're eyeing up a championship to improve to 23-4. But you didn't see this early on, but you know the type of team Coach says it has, the way they've performed.
Well, it was interesting because I think back to the game we did with Northampton and this Central Catholic team not showing up that day, but we knew what kind of team that they could be. And when they're at full strength, and when Joyce is getting in the game, when Filchner's hot, when Tyson Thomas is that guy on the offense and defensive end, they're a tough team to stop. So we know that they're capable of doing it, and you're seeing it here tonight as they're 3.2 seconds away from walking away as champions.
Now they'll wind down and try to inbound. Again, if you got a foul right away. With 3.2 seconds left here from Easton Area Middle School. They get the ball in, and time will wind down. 52-48. Central Catholic captures the District 11 4A Boys Championship.
You know, as this one was a little bit more not as close as the first game, I guess.
No.
But you know, but it
didn't start that way either.
Correct. 4-point win here for Central doesn't really tell the story, but you know, a really great job in terms of both games that we saw here. Very entertaining, and congratulations to both Nazareth girls and of course now the Allentown Central Catholic Viking boys as they walk away champions here.
Yeah, no doubt they're going to give the trophy presentation, and they'll, raise themselves and realize they win another championship tonight. Again, both teams, moving on into the 4A classification, represent District 11 moving forward. But, job well done if you're, Central Catholic moving forward here with the victory.
Yeah, well, without a, and a great effort by Bethlehem Catholic. Great effort, and they'd really tried to set that tone early. And I was really impressed with the play of Isaiah Alexander. Julian Thomas at times looked really good on the offensive side. Ryan Santana was probably their biggest person in terms of production. A couple 3-point baskets for him. And you take your hat off to Bethlehem Catholic as They are your runner-up this year, and they've been there before too. They know what the win feels like.
Yeah, 3 years in a row, and they get it and enjoy that moment. 4 points for Spagnardi, Jalen Green with 12, Tyson Thomas with 4, 15 for Joyce, and 17 for Filchner. 18 points for Santana, Ryan Santana, 6 for Stianchi. Glassmacher had 5, 7 points for Thomas, and Alexander had 12 to lead the way and finish this one strong. As you take a look at the celebration, they're going to enjoy the moment at the same time down on the floor, and obviously a great opportunity for them to enjoy while they're doing the medal presentations on the other side to Scott McClary and his runner-up team here for Bethlehem Catholic. Obviously a team that when you get into the state tournament, will be able to play with some of these teams.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we've seen where they're able to excel. Definitely getting more to Isaiah Alexander in the paint. I think that's a really great strategy. And then the inside-outside game with Santana, I think that they're going to be just fine. And they have some positive things ahead of them yet still.
Yeah, no doubt. And, we say it, and as they're giving the medals, Ryan Santana, Daniel Policinos, Brian Santana, Alex Ricardo, Matt Stianchi, Ryan Glassmacher, Steve Recchio, Julian Thomas, Jared Richardson, Isaiah Alexander, Caden McClary, and Michael Richardson, part of this team. And
just a great job. And they're out there, and it's tough because we know what it's like to be on the other side of that, to win that championship, and now having to watch Allentown Central Catholic be that team that gets the gold medals this year. Very, very impressive season thus far for both teams.
Well, great job. We wish Coach McClary and his team the very best. I want to thank him. I want to thank Chris Dinn and also Dennis Census and them getting us the information and stats. And I can't say enough of Patton and Bob Worrell, the EPC statisticianers. Tell you what, they got us the information so quickly when it came to stats. I'm getting home from games, and I don't know how they're doing it, but they're getting stuff ready and sent to the emails immediately to us. So it's fantastic, and it's a great opportunity when we see that, with that. They do a great job, and hats off to Bob and Pat Worrell for all they do. Well, again, in no specific order, they'll probably go in that order. Christian Spagnardi, Jalen Green, Tyson Thomas, Andrew Census, Leroy Johnson, Liam Joyce, Colby Faust, Aiden Berkmeister, Nick Filchner, Griffin Patridge, Brendan Reed, Tyler Schiffko, and Levon Johnson.
Looking back at some of the memories here on your stat sheet here, Al, Zay Jennings, I see at the bottom there, the great Central Catholic Viking who I got an opportunity to interview a few years ago, doing great things at the college level now. All the listen, and you mentioned all the people that come back and support both of these schools, and that's why you're seeing such athletic success at both schools, and not just basketball. You're seeing football and you're seeing various other sports competing in the District 11. So very, very storied tradition for both schools.
Yeah, no doubt. Tomorrow, 4 games. So if they're anything like this, it's going to be very entertaining. Again, we'll start at noon and we'll finish at about this time tomorrow night. As we have games at noon, 1:30 and 3. That's all without any overtimes. Of course, we had an overtime already tonight.
2 overtimes.
2 overtimes.
We have to yes, specify. And that's interesting just because not what we expected going in. It was a tight game in the first one, the Nazareth and Freedom game, but did not really expect double overtime out of that one. And for this one, we see 52-48 as your final, but not really expecting as close of a game as it was at the end, as Central Catholic is going to get the opportunity right here as the trophy gets presented there at center court. Dennis Census going to hoist that trophy.
Yeah, Tom Mole, the game manager and District 11 representative, is at half court. I'm not sure what the here it goes. So Tom Mole is waiting for the captains to make their way through. And your 4A champions, Central Catholic Vikings, they're going to hold that trophy high and enjoy that moment right there. It's a proud moment. No matter when or where you win a championship, you enjoy that moment. That's awfully exciting. And obviously they'll get the St. Luke's banner in there for a team photo that they'll have as well. And wrap things up from tonight. But I tell you what, great crowd to start things off, for the District 11 championship coverage, without a doubt. Opportunity was there, and it was there as well. And I know. All right, we'll take a look, and we'll go downstairs to Travis Lahr with winning head coach Dennis Santos.
I'm here with Central's coach. First of all, congratulations, Coach. Tell me, when you were down at the half, what adjustments did you make at halftime?
I thought our guys, lost our composure a little bit in the first half, and we're playing hard, but just weren't as disciplined as we needed to be. And I thought, we were able to regain our composure and play with a little bit better discipline, and our defense really improved, and we were able to get some offense from our defense to get us going.
And what does this win mean for your program? I mean, you had a huge student section, a great crowd. So what does this mean for your program?
You know what? It's great for the Central Catholic community, Central's a special place, and you can see that by our student following and the way the community comes out to support us. It's a real family at 4th and Chew, and couldn't be prouder to be a part of it.
All right, congrats, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Coach Sense is down. You heard the voice of Coach Senses as he was talking to Travis, and obviously in the position that we're at, and they're standing by right now. Do we get a look at these guys? Just checking. And we'll go down now to Joey Draper.
I am here with Central Catholic's Nick Filchner, who just had an incredible game, scoring 17 points. Nick, first off, congratulations on being district champions. How do you feel right now in this moment?
It feels amazing. They got on us early, but I feel like we really fought back, and that just shows what this team is all about. It's all about resiliency, and we showed that tonight.
You've had such an outstanding career, and especially this season, scoring your 1,000th career point. Now you've got a district championship medal around your neck. Now you're going to the state playoffs. How happy are you that your senior year is turning out to be pretty much like a dream?
It feels amazing, honestly. But, I wouldn't be able to do it without the great supporting system I have with my teammates and my coaches. Without them, none of this would be possible, and I really just got to give all the credit to them for sure.
There was so much support tonight from the crowd. You had a lot of students here, a lot of alumni. How does it make you feel that people that graduated maybe 20 years ago are still coming out to support Central Catholic's basketball team?
I feel like that's what it's all about. It's all about being a family, and I think that we resemble that well, especially for the Lehigh Valley. And it just feels amazing to have a great support system with our fan base as strong as it is, and it just feels great to be district champions.
Congratulations, Nick. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Joey Draper and Travis Lahr doing a great job down there for us on the floor, and outstanding part of our team. I want to thank them. Final scoring in this one, Spagnardi with 4, 12 for Green, 4 for Thomas, 15 for Joyce, Nick Filchner with 17, 18 for Ryan Santana, 6 for Stianchi, Glassmacher with 5, 7 for Thomas, and Alexander finished with a dozen. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, just a great team effort and resiliency by Central Catholic, just being able to, battle back from that first quarter deficit and just going behind their leaders, whether it was Filchner, whether it was Joyce, and just getting enough from the rest of the team to put it over the edge. And you can see winning with class down there, and I'm sure they have their sights on a larger prize, and we're going to see where they go from here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike, for joining us. Hope you had
Thanks,
fun.
Al.
I know you did, and saw some two good games. Nazareth winning in double overtime, 46-38, and this tonight, Central Catholic a champion, also 52-48. Tell your friends. You can watch D11sports.com. We'll have all 4 championships next tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 12, 1:33, and then 7:30. That'll do it for everyone here at D11sports.com. I'm Al DeCarlo saying so long. We'll see you in 24 hours. Have a great night.